The night. It's the one place where the world can't claw at you. The noise vanishes, the endless messages die, and the lights go black. Yet for most, that silence isn't peace, it's punishment. Their minds become torture chambers, replaying regrets, failures and fears on a loop so loud it drowns out sleep itself. The bed feels like a battlefield, the darkness like a prison. But it doesn't have to be that way. There's a darker, deeper path where the night doesn't crush you. It forges you. Where silence isn't a threat. It becomes the roaring furnace where your mind hardens, your spirit sharpens, and your soul rises with a fire it didn't have the day before. Understand this. Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "The happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts." And your thoughts don't rest just because your eyes shut. If you drift into sleep unguarded, the night will feed on your weaknesses. Fear will creep in, regret will whisper, old wounds will rip themselves open. Your own mind will turn predator, hunting you from the inside. But when you learn to train it, to command it, even while the world sleeps, you don't just wake rested. You wake like a blade pulled from the forge, sharper, calmer, untouchable. The night becomes your weapon, not your enemy. This is not about empty quotes or bedtime tricks. This is about ripping the weakness out of those silent hours and molding them into power. It's about turning every sleepless whisper, every racing thought, every crushing weight on your chest into fuel. It's about creating a sanctuary in the darkness, a place where your mind no longer sabotages you, but serves you, where your thoughts march in line with the unbreakable strength of a Stoic heart. So as you hear my voice now, stop rushing. Let these words strike and linger. Let them crawl under your skin and into your bones. This isn't just advice. It's an initiation. A passage through the stillness you already know too well. The lonely ticking of the clock. The shadows that stretch across your ceiling. The heaviness that presses down when the world goes silent. We're not running from those moments anymore. We're using them, twisting them, turning them into the crucible that builds the unshakable mind you've been searching for. Stay with me until the end. Don't skip. Don't break. Let each principle hit you, one after another, like waves reshaping stone, layer by layer, until your nights stop breaking you and start remaking you into something unstoppable. And when this is over, don't just click away. Like this video, share it, subscribe, and in the comments, write it so the world hears you. My nights build me, not break me, because the darkness will no longer own you. From tonight forward, it will serve you. Now, let's get into it. Number 1. Guard the last thought before sleep. Every night, right before the darkness takes you, there's a moment where your mind decides what seed it's going to bury deep in your subconscious. And most people, without realizing, plant poison. They let their last breath before sleep carry whispers of regret, unfinished arguments, faces of people they wish they'd impressed, mistakes they replay until their chest feels like it's caving in. Then, when morning comes, they wonder why life feels heavier than their own body, why their first thought is dread instead of drive. Marcus Aurelius once said, "The soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts." If your last thought is soaked in fear or bitterness, don't be surprised when your dreams become storms and your mornings taste like ash. But if you choose that final thought, if you force your mind to hold one image, one feeling, one anchor before the night swallows you, everything changes. You stop waking up as a slave to chaos, and instead rise like someone who commands their own mind before the world even gets a chance to test them. So tonight, when the room is quiet and your hand almost reaches for that phone, stop. Shut it all out. Breathe so deep your lungs ache. Picture your mind as a dark, still pond. Every regret, every anxious memory, every worthless thought is a jagged stone trying to shatter the water. But you don't throw them anymore. You let each one sink, slowly, down into the depths, until the surface is smooth and untouched. And when the water is calm, you drop just one thought into it. Deliberate, heavy, powerful. Maybe it's the gratitude that no matter how brutal today was, you made it through. Maybe it's the quiet oath that tomorrow you won't just endure, you'll dominate. This isn't some soft, sugar-coated affirmation. This is control. Pure control over the wildest part of you, the thoughts that run free when no one's watching. If your last thought is random, you hand your subconscious over to fear. But when you choose it, deliberately, like gripping the reins of a raging animal, you don't just sleep, you sharpen. You wake with your mind steady, your spirit cold and unshaken, and the day bends to you instead of breaking you. Number 2. Use the night to detach, not drown. The night can turn into a predator if you let it. When the world goes silent and the lights fade, everything you buried during the day comes crawling back. The mistakes you thought you buried, they rise like ghosts. The what-ifs, they don't whisper, they scream. The quiet becomes suffocating, like the walls are closing in, and your thoughts, the ones you tried to ignore, start dragging you under like a riptide you can't escape. Most people get swallowed whole by that darkness. They let it eat them alive until they fall asleep, exhausted, not at peace, and wake up feeling like the weight of the night is still clinging to their chest. But the Stoic sees the night for what it truly is, not an executioner, but a brutal teacher. The dark hours are not here to destroy you. They're here to show you whether your mind belongs to you or to the chaos it creates. Epictetus said, "We suffer more in imagination than in reality." And those endless spirals that stalk you at midnight, 90% of them are phantoms. The failures you replay, the disasters you imagine, the futures you fear, they're shadows. And shadows only consume those who chase them into the dark. So, when you're lying there and those waves of thought start rising, don't let them pull you under. Don't thrash. Don't drown. See yourself on the shore, staring at the raging ocean of your own mind. The tide roars, the waves crash, but you step back. You plant your feet. You don't need to silence the storm, because storms don't last forever. You simply let it rage while you stand unshaken, whispering to yourself, "These thoughts aren't me. They pass. I remain." This is how the night becomes your training ground. Instead of sinking, you practice mastery over your own mind, over fear, over the illusions that try to chain you. And when morning comes, you rise not just lighter, but sharper. Because while the rest of the world was being hunted by their own thoughts, you stood your ground, detached, untouchable, and ready to face the day with a mind no darkness can break. Number 3. Turn dreams into training grounds. Most people treat their dreams like some meaningless storm, a blur of chaos, a flickering reel they can't control. They wake up dazed, shrug it off, and let their nights become wasted hours of mental noise. But your mind doesn't sleep just because your body does. Even in the deepest hours, when your breath slows and your eyes are locked behind closed lids, your subconscious is awake. It's rehearsing, it's rewriting, and if you don't give it direction, it doesn't build you, it breaks you. It feeds on your fears, your failures, and the shadows you let grow in the corners of your mind. Seneca once said, "We are more often frightened than hurt, and we suffer more from imagination than from reality. And nowhere does imagination grip you harder than in your dreams. Those fears you carry, they don't disappear when you sleep. They mutate. They creep into your subconscious, twisting your emotions, shaping the tone of your morning before your eyes even open. But this can be turned. The night doesn't have to be a battleground where you're hunted. It can be a forge. Before you sink into sleep, give your mind a command it can't ignore. Whisper it into the dark like a vow. Even as I sleep, I train my mind. Don't just say it, see it. See yourself standing calm in chaos. See your anger tested and your voice steady. See your fears stripped of their power, one by one, as you hold your ground. Every scene your mind paints, turn it into practice. Every imagined trial becomes a drill where you sharpen your will instead of being shattered by it. And when the nightmares come, and they will, don't see them as punishments. Treat them like the heaviest weights in a gym no one else dares to enter. Every nightmare is a brutal drill, a test that hammers you into something unbreakable. You don't wake up weaker because of them. You wake up forged. Your fears burned out in the fire, your mind harder, sharper, ready to rip through the day while others crawl out of bed already beaten. Your dreams aren't random. They're your battlefield. And every night, if you dare to claim it, that battlefield can turn you into something the waking world can't shake. Number 4. Release the weight you can't carry to sleep. Every night, people crawl into bed thinking they're resting, but they're not. They're sinking. The room is quiet, the lights are off, yet it feels like they're lying beneath a mountain of invisible stones. Arguments replaying like broken records, debts circling their heads like vultures, failures cutting into their ribs with every breath, fear of tomorrow waiting like a predator at the edge of their thoughts. The body may be still, but the mind, shackled, chained, drowning in a darkness heavier than the night itself. And then dawn comes, and they rise not refreshed, but crushed, dragging yesterday's weight into today like a corpse tied to their back. Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "If it is not right, do not do it. If it is not true, do not say it." But this isn't just about words and actions. It's about the poison we allow to rot in our minds when the world goes silent. Each night is not just sleep. It's a test, a chance to decide what dies with the day and what you carry into the next. Visualize it. Every thought you're holding is an object. Some are light, like gratitude, wisdom, the lessons you earned through pain. But the others, guilt, regret, shame, anger, are not thoughts. They are boulders. And if you don't set them down, they will crush your spirit before the morning even arrives. Before you let sleep take you, don't just lie there. See yourself laying each stone beside your bed, one by one. The argument you can't fix tonight? Place it down. The mistake you can't erase by reliving it? Place it down. The fear of tomorrow gnawing at the edges of your mind? Place it down. Strip your mind bare until only what you can truly carry remains. This won't erase your battles. The debts will still exist. The problems will still be waiting. But sleep is not the time to fight wars you cannot win. Sleep is the forge where your body heals, your mind sharpens, your strength returns, and when the morning comes, you rise, not buried under yesterday's storm, but ready to face it with a spine unbent and hands steady. Because only those who release the weight at night can truly stand when the sun rises. Number 5. Rise with a mind already aligned. Most people don't wake up. They stumble into the day like they're still drowning in sleep. Their eyes open, but their mind is fog, confused, restless, heavy. They reach for their phones like addicts reaching for a fix, letting the flood of notifications and noise dictate their first breath, their first emotion, their first thought. And before they even set a foot on the ground, they're already prisoners, slaves to chaos they didn't choose, soldiers in a war they weren't prepared to fight. But when your nights are more than just unconscious hours, when you've trained your mind in the dark, the moment your eyes open, you're already centered. You don't wake chasing clarity. You are clarity. The world hasn't touched you yet, and it won't. Not until you decide it's allowed to. The first words that echo in your mind aren't the demands of others, but your own command. I rise calm. I rise unshaken. I rise with direction. These aren't affirmations. They are battle orders, and your mind obeys. Epictetus said, "First say to yourself what you would be, and then do what you have to do." But most people wait until the chaos is already clawing at them before they try to remember who they are. Not you. This begins before the noise, before the phone, before the weight of the day even tries to settle on your shoulders. You wake not reactive, but anchored, because you already built the foundation while the world was sleeping. Every night becomes an architect. The hours you spend in darkness aren't wasted. They're the forge where your mind is sharpened, aligned, disciplined. So when dawn hits, you don't crawl into the day. You enter it like it was built for you. Every sunrise stops feeling like a battlefield you're dragged into and starts feeling like a mission you were made for. This is why the Stoics never shattered under chaos. They didn't wait for the day to teach them strength. They sculpted it in every silent hour, turning even sleep into discipline, so that when the world came at them swinging, they stood unshaken, not because they were untested, but because they were already forged. The night isn't gentle. It doesn't care if you're tired. It will claw at you with fears, bury you in regrets, and echo every failure in the kind of silence that feels deafening. Most people fold. They let those hours chain them, twist their thoughts, and wake with a soul already fractured. But you don't surrender. You seize it. You choose your last thought like a weapon. You detach from the chaos before it swallows you. You turn your dreams into battlegrounds where your courage sharpens in the dark. You drop the weights you can't carry, and when the sun rises, you don't crawl into the day. You rise with a mind already carved in steel. Each morning, you're not just awake. You're unshaken, untouched, alive with direction the world can't take. This is how you stop being prey to the night and start bending it to your will. Like, share, comment, and subscribe, because this is where the weak are broken and the disciplined are made.